So this is our Earth, as you all know, according to Google. And you see a bunch of stars. Are there any stars? I don't see any stars. Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, they say they didn't see any stars when they went to the moon. Look at North America here. Does that look like it's taking up most of the face of that ball? You see that the equator is down here. The equator is supposed to be half down the globe. But anyway, let's scrutinize the globe some other time. We're going to be looking in Hawaii once more. And from the big island here, we're going to be looking over at this group of islands, but mostly at Moloka'i in the middle. We have Kaolave, Lanai, Maui, and Molokini, the very tiny one in the middle. We don't really see it from here. Anyway, let's look at our observation point where we were making our movie, where I was making the movie. I was shooting with my camera on the side of the highway, looking at the other islands from the big island, from the upper mountain road here that goes between Kona and Waimea. And it was somewhere along that streak of black lava we can see here, and I was looking over towards the other islands, kind of like that. Let's put a little marker here so we can have a reference point. Oh, marker disappeared. Anyway, don't really need that. Let's kind of line up our visual alignment here. And we're looking towards the other islands of Hawaii. Maui is the biggest one on the right side, most obvious island. You can almost see it with your eyes closed. And on the forefront on the left is Kaolave, Lanai right behind it, taller Lanai. And you see this is Maui here, Haleakala and the West Maui Mountains. Okay, and further there we have Moloka'i. Moloka'i is a bit like Maui. It's got two parts, one northwestern part and one southeastern part, same as Maui. So as we get a little closer, you can see Molokini in the foreground. And you can see the low end of Moloka'i back there. You can see the upper end of Moloka'i. It's more jagged, higher up, more elevation on this end of the island. Okay. And the West Maui Mountains here. And down here is the low ground, is around Lahaina. And if you have ever been to Lahaina, it's a nice little town. And you see it kind of steeps up as it goes up the hill on the West Maui Mountains. Okay. Backing out a little bit. I'm going to take some measurements. Let's look at the elevation of our observation point. So it takes a little bit of time for the elevation map to find its focus. But we don't really need 5G to make things faster. We can be patient. We don't need to fry any living cells. We don't need to destabilize oxygen molecules at 60 gigahertz. So from here, a little sample of the elevation, just over 2,000 feet, 2,064 according to Google Earth. But how precise can we be? But if you go up on that road, you see one sign says 2,000 feet, and I was just about below it. So we can say 2,000. 2,000. Remember when I was young, 2,000 was a magical number. Back in the 80s, 90s, oh, we're ever going to get to the year 2000? But now that I'm old, I got other things to talk about, such as what's out there. What is going on between what we are told and what we can see? So I'm trying to figure out what's the highest point on the northwestern part of Moloka'i. And I get about 1300 something, 1273, that's a bit low. Let's do low, 900. 1355. So I'd like to be generous and give it a good 1400 feet, 1500 feet, 1500 feet of elevation is what I'm giving that part of Moloka'i. Sorry, as a French Canadian, I make a lot of verbal mistakes. It's part of our nature, us French Canadians. But I dare you to speak French Canadian. So if we look in Lahaina, the low end is 148 feet or so. You can see up in that neighborhood, it's 266 feet. So you see there's low land before the higher land. And it's something we won't be able to see from our viewpoint on the slopes of Hualalai, on the highway between Kona and Waimea. So from there, let's measure the distance from our viewpoint to to what we are observing, to what we can see on my Nikon P900 clip that I'm about to show you. If you're patient enough, 122 miles. 122 miles. That's pretty far, isn't it? Far, far away. So 122 miles. Okay, we're going to square that number. And we multiply that by 2/3 of a foot, which is 9,922 feet. So we shouldn't be able to see that. If my eyeball was along the ocean water in Kona, and if I was looking towards Moloka'i, I wouldn't be able to see anything below 9,922 feet. Okay, but I'm not like that. I'm up at 2,000 feet. So if we look at how to calculate the Earth curvature, we got to use this number. We got to use the Pythagoras triangle. And if we look at Robert the expert, was asked by Google guys, by some other, so we have that number. 3,963 miles is the radius of the Earth. Okay? So we're looking at this distance and we want to figure out what's the height missing. What's the maximal height that we shouldn't be able to see anything below that. So we should be getting 8 inches in 1 mile, but we're squaring that. So we get 8 inches per squared mile of distance of sight. So there's many ways of calculating the Earth curvature. There are other websites we can use. Let's see what this one gives us. If we put 122 miles, we're going to get still about the same number, 9,925 miles. Okay, you can look up these websites or look up any other website that claim to calculate the Earth curvature. Is that the same number? Mine is a little bit smaller. There's a little bit higher. Does it make any difference? So this is my clip I shot from the highway. You see the black rock, black lava flow. It's over 100 years old. You can see Maui across in the mountain, in the clouds. You can see the slopes of Haleakala and Haleakala here, and that's West Maui Mountains. You can see not Kehena, Makena Hill on Maui. And you can see Moloka'i in the foreground. I have a couple of videos on Moloka'i. You should check them out on my channel, Louis Tubes. And it's kind of faint. It's very faint because of the clouds, but that's Lanai, and you can see the shadow of Moloka'i back there. This is Ka'olave on the left foreground. It's darker. You can see the difference between Ka'olave and Lanai as they meet on our horizon. So Ka'olave, the split here in Lanai, and then you can see Moloka'i in the foreground. You can see there's an island back there, long, flattish island. If you look at my video, Eyes on Moloka'i, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you look here, there's a slope. I suspect that to be the slope of Moloka'i, because in the foreground we see Haleakala and the West Maui Mountains. Not so clear, but I'll keep showing you. You see those slopes difference? Looks like Moloka'i, and that's Haleakala. You can see Makena in the foreground, Haleakala, and behind is West Maui Mountains. But there's a split here, it's hard to see, but I'll show you a little further on, it's a little more clear. So we're still looking at Haleakala Slope and Makena Beach, Makena Little Beach with the nudies, and Makena Big Beach. So we can see the slope here. It's kind of hard to see. And then another slope. Okay. And then you can see Moloka'i in the foreground, and you can see something behind Moloka'i, and you can see like a darker shadow lurking in the back. And Moloka'i, and something behind Moloka'i, something long and flat. And as we remember observing Moloka'i's northwestern part is long and flat. That's for his southeastern part is taller and more jagged. Sorry, messing our focus here, making you waste your time as I waste mine. Just trying to see, trying to look. Look once more, look once, look twice, look thrice. Okay, Lanai, Moloka'i, Moloka'i again, Haleakala Ridge, and West Maui Mountains. Okay, we're still at the same spot. We're looking over towards the Kohala coast, towards Waimea. That's not really my point. So I'm going to skip along a little bit here. That's behind me up on Walalai. That's below me on the coast. That's the Kohala coast, my neighborhood. Looks like a boat out there. You can see the lighthouse, Mahukona Lighthouse. But I went a little too fast. But it's not really important right now. It's not the point of my video. So we can kind of see him. Far away. This Lanai, Moloka'i is kind of long. Oops. Sorry. So here again, you can see behind Moloka'i. Moloka'i. Okay, 122 miles away. Let's look at another clip from the same place. I just changed the setting on my camera. I'm still not quite accustomed to my camera, even though I've had it for a couple of years, of which setting is the best for what. There's about 10 settings on my camera, maybe 12. And I play with them, but I can't really make a video. I can't record as I'm changing them. So you can see Lanai after Kaulave on the left. Lanai is kind of dim, but you can see a bit of the slope up and a bit down. And you can see, definitely see Moloka'i in the foreground, and you see some slopes back there. It's a very bit dim, but you can see more of the slope than we did on our previous clip. So we can see the long island of Moloka'i. As we're stagnating in our view, listen to this Genesis song called Stagnation. Moloka'i, no, that's Lanai, and Moloka'i. Lanai and Kaulave split. That's back long ago when humans knew how to take time and make nice sounding music. That was long ago. Long ago. So here's a bit of my island and the coast. There's Maui there, at Pu'u by Hana. I have a video called Havituhana. You should check it out, and that's what we can see. But I'm looking at that from much further away, and you can see the trees on the ocean side. And that's the Kohala Coast, my neighborhood. It's the top of Haleakala Observatory. But I want to show you a little bit more clearer the difference between the ridges. So you can see our windmills here on the slope of Haleakala. We can count all 8 of them. 8 windmills, and I have a whole video about those windmills called Windmills Taking a Dip. So check it out. Let's just look at how far away we are from those windmills. Hey, where'd my page go? Back to map. Okay, Mahukona. It's almost like a nice swimming pool when you go there. It's worth the swim. There's a few sharks hanging around there, but never hear about anybody getting eaten by sharks. As opposed to how many shark fin soup gets eaten by humans, by Chinese, Japanese, fancy businessmen who want to gain some prana from the shark fin soup. Okay, I just want to be looking at how far away we are from those windmills, just to waste a bit of time. Sorry. Just to make up my point a little bit more clear that we don't live on a globe. We don't. We're not floating in space. And the Earth is not flat either. I apologize to the amateurs of curvature, as I am, because I'm not really clearly showing in this video that there is curvature. But I'm definitely showing that we are not on a globe. So I kind of joined team with the flat earthers in a sense to kick the globe theory out the door. Thank you, flat earthers. But you guys missing a few links in our reality. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to show you that there is curvature. "62 miles away, 62.5 miles away from our observation point. 62 miles square times 2/3 of a mile, according to Google mathematicians and Robert the expert. 2,562 feet. It's not very impressive because I'm standing at 2,000 feet, and the bottom of the bottom windmill is what, according to my notes, is like 390 feet. But we can see that it's not quite touching the water. They're still away from the water. So we kind of see that we're not on a globe. Not proving the curvature here, but globe, not. So what I want to show you here is a clearer picture of our slopes. You can see Haleakala Ridge, okay, and McKenna in the foreground, okay, and see the long island of Moloka'i. It looks clearer at this point. My camera got the chance to adapt. So here we're looking at Lanai after Kaulave split on the left. And Kaulave, it's kind of the slope keeps on. I'm looking at Lanai. Then Moloka'i, long, and then it slopes. See that slopes is Moloka'i, and the closer slope here, we can see McKenna in the foreground. Let's try again. Backing up. Oh, that's too far. Okay, the split between Kaulave and Lanai. Okay. And you can kind of see Lanai. It turns into the slope of Lanai, and it kind of turns into another island. Then that island, Moloka'i, keeps going long ways, long, and see our little Molokini in the foreground and the long Moloka'i in the background. So here the slope is part of Moloka'i. Okay? And the split is right there. You see, that's the island of Maui, West Maui mountain slopes. And we don't see Lanai, Lahaina down there so well, along the ocean line. And you can see McKenna here. McKenna. Big beach, little beach. And you can see, okay, right here, you can see that string of windmills on the West Maui mountains. You know what I'm talking about? Let me show you. It's not the same windmills as our windmills taking a dip video. It's another set of windmills because, you know, it's good to have some powers to make electricity other than diesel that they're using in Hawaii. They're using diesel fuel to make electricity in Hawaii for most parts, other than thousands of residents that have solar system on their house. They're even selling it to Helco from hell, Hawaiian Electric Company. They're gonna charge you an arm and a leg to burn their diesel, sell you electricity. So you see those windmills? That's on Maui, looking towards the Big Island. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Aloha. Hi, I'm Louie. Welcome to my tube, the Curvature Amateur. I have more to show you like this, so hold on to your thoughts. You can make some math all you want to compare it with my math. I like to keep things simple. I'm not a technician very well with computers, and I'm also a French Canadian, so if I have an accent, open your ears a little bit more. Okay? So if we look at what's going on in the world right now, it doesn't look too good, but we can still look at the world with an open mind and an open eye, or two eyes. It works even better than one eye. And as we're looking around, you can see that there are things that we were told. And the things we were told are not necessarily true. Like, are we really spinning on a globe in the vacuum of space? Try to spin a ball and see how it acts. Try to spin a ball with water on top of it. And when we look at the stars, how come they don't change from night to night, from year to year? When we'd be spinning in space, and our solar system is supposed to be moving forward. How can that be possible? The flat earthers have came up with a lot of good topics to show that what we're looking at is not what we were told. But they also claim that there is no curvature, and that is what I'm here to show you, that there is actually curvature out there that we can see and we can kind of measure with some good reference points. And at home here in Hawaii, I got lots of footage, and it's probably the best place in the world to be looking at the curvature, since we got high mountains and we got a wide span of water between the islands. So stay tuned and you'll see that I'm not as crazy as I look. Okay? I'm not crazy at all. Give me a chance. And I'm not conspiring with anybody over this topic here, because I made my own observation and I made my own judgment, and it's all out of this head here. If you have anything to add to my thoughts, I'm open. And if you have any comments that are going to tell me how crazy I am, I'm not going to be taking that so personally. So be open-minded, be open-hearted, and open-eyed.